Hello, I'm Shane Strubhart. Welcome to Focal Point. Joining us today is Deputy Superintendent Art Cavazos. Welcome to Focal Point, Mr. Cavazos.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, it's great to have you. Mr. Cavazos, you and I both started with the district in 2001. And I just want to point out that you have a lot more gray hair than I do now.
Well, that's a good observation on your part. Congratulations.
No, I guess it's indicative of the position. You have a lot more responsibilities than I could ever possibly dream of. Well, tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself and your background in education.
Well, I'll go ahead and, since you mentioned the gray hair, I'll go ahead and mention graduated from high school back in the 80s, early 80s, so I'll leave it at that. But I come to this position by way of being a teacher, and I was a middle school teacher and then became a high school teacher thereafter in the area of mathematics, and so
a
math person and thereafter went into the counseling field and felt that I needed to help serve kids in a different capacity. Then pursued a career in administration and have been doing administration work for the last, I guess, 15 years. Actually was a principal for some years as well. And so I enjoy what I do, and I currently serve this community and this school district as the deputy superintendent.
Fantastic. Now, so you've been in education for pretty much all your career?
I have been in education all my career. During the time that I was getting my degrees and my certifications, did some other type of work as part of my counseling services. But for the most part, education has been my path. I'm currently enrolled in a doctoral program at the University of Texas in Austin to pursue another degree, and I'm excited about that at the tail end of the program. So,
was that because A&M didn't have a program, or you're UT fan, sir?
UT had a program. Let's leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that. So obviously you have a passion for education. When did that start? What got you passionate about being in education?
Well, I think that the passion, and we all have that special teacher that inspired us. I happen to also have great parents, had great parents. They're deceased now. My mother was very influential, and so we come from a family of 6, and all of us have formal education. While they didn't, they ensured that we did. And so you're exactly correct. We all have an education. Some are in the education field, some are in the law enforcement field, but we're doing well. So,
great. You have children with the school district. Could you list or give us some strategies that parents could use at home to ensure their child's success? Well,
my children are my pride and joy. As is my wife in the event that she's watching this.
I'm sure she will, sir.
But my children are my pride and joy, and I always make certain that we put some structures in place at home to help them be more successful at what they're doing. For example, I believe that it is imperative that kids stay involved, whether in school activities or outside of school activities, but an active kid is a student that stays focused, gets other experiences other than in the classroom. And then I think that another very important piece is that you provide structure for studying, quiet time, and so that students, in this case my children, understand the value of it, and that there is a stop, look, and listen point of every day. And that they are committed to their education. It's funny that you bring that up, because I believe that education and school is their job. And so they have to show that they are committed and they are dedicated to that, and it is a big focus in our home. And so I would say structure for study, good study habits, and then keeping them engaged in activities so that they don't have downtime.
Okay. So, are there any tools out there for parents to help monitor how their children are doing in the school?
Well, sometimes nothing takes the place of parents meeting one-on-one with their child's teacher. I think that's imperative. I think that creating a culture between the teacher and the parent, one, that there's two-way communication, effective communication. There's nothing that takes the place of that. But we have a lot of our parents work, have very, very busy schedules. And so we're committed in this district to continue to look for ways in which we give parents access to their child's day-to-day functions in our school. And one of the ways that we encourage parents to stay abreast of their child's performance is through our system called Parent Access Center. And that gives the parents an opportunity to monitor their child's progress in every grade, in every class, whether in elementary or middle school or high school. It's a web-based program which allows parents to see their child as the teachers post their grades to determine whether the child is experiencing difficulty, celebrating their successes. That's important. And I think the bigger piece of that is not only for parents to have access, but make it a part of their day where the child is held accountable for monitoring their progress. And so now it becomes a child tool with the support of the parent. And so in the Parent Access Center, it's very easily accessible. We encourage the parents to visit their campus principal's office, request a password and a code, and then you go online. And they will give you a quick check on how to do that. And we're going to provide that. And once you go online, you're going to see a lot of things. But a couple of areas of interest, of course, are their class assignments and their attendance. And that's very important. Our expectation is that teachers post their grades with a reasonable amount of time. Oftentimes that's defined based on the assignment, but more often than not, the grades are posted within 24, 48 hours of the time the grade is taken. And so it's a great tool. In the past, parents had to wait to get the progress report. And so no sooner did they get the progress report that a week had gone by, and so it was catch up. Well, this is live data. And so I highly encourage parents to use that tool that we're providing at no charge to our families to help them monitor their child's progress. By the same token, while we're monitoring, I think that it's valuable to celebrate the successes. Mm-hmm. When their kids are getting grades, there needs to be a celebration. And so, the positive rewards are always great.
Are equally as important.
Yeah.
Exactly. It comes scores. I was looking at my son's grades the other day, and I noticed that in one of his classes, there were several assignments that didn't have a grade yet. Do we have a system in place where teachers input them every week, every 3 weeks?
Well, and that's an important point. Parents, as you access that, you'll begin to get a feel for the frequency of posting grades. Sometimes the way the system works, the teacher can post what the assignment is, and if it's a project, it may be a 1-week project, so the grade's not posted until the assignment is taken up. But we encourage and we expect that those grades be posted in a reasonable amount of time, but the categories are already identified. They can be classwork, homework, quizzes, grade, tests, and so forth, but it's live information. It's very important that with technology today, you look at the grades, and it's important to be proactive, and sometimes kids may get a grade that is not what you expect, and the average may show something that you're not happy with. That's where you go back to teacher-parent relationship and having those conversations with the teacher, because since it's live data, it's very possible they're posting a grade only to post another one a day later. And so the average will be a